Just to follow up on Nazira's question, I'm sure you have heard former Secretary Hillary Clinton talk about Ashraf Ghani running away with stashes of money to UAE. That money belonged to the American people. Is there ever going to be something to recover that money from people like Ashraf Ghani and many others who I have personally reported on as well, and several other journalists as well, that there are officials or contractor that in these last 20 years they looted the US government and kept their money over there in UAE. Is the State Department ever going to take action about them?
I'm not in the position to speak to any specific claims, but what I can say is that the Afghan economy and the Afghan state more broadly has long been plagued by corruption. It, of course, was a challenge prior to August of last year. It, of course, remains a challenge with the Taliban now, at least in de facto control. There was a focus that the United States had with the prior Afghan government on anti-corruption. We provided a good deal of support to the prior Afghan government to help them with this challenge, to see to it that the prior Afghan government was an effective steward of the revenues that it collected from the Afghan people. Of course, those types of programs are no longer possible with the Taliban now in at least de facto control across Afghanistan. But we will continue with international partners to do what we can to make sure that what rightfully belongs to the people of Afghanistan is or remains in the hands of the people of Afghanistan.
And that one question, just like Nazira said, in Afghanistan, you see the human rights violation getting increased day by day. In Pakistan, I don't know if you're aware, since last just even 2 days, yesterday, one police station was attacked and 4 police officers were killed. Right now, there is a counter-terrorism department which is under siege right now by the Taliban, by the TTP. So do you see in coming days any over the horizon or under the horizon drones coming back to the region and targeting these terrorist groups, or situation has not gotten that worse yet?
Well, first on the ongoing situation in Pakistan, we are, of course, aware. We've been closely following reports that militants have seized control of the counterterrorism center in Banu. We offer our deepest sympathies to those injured. We urge those responsible for the attack to cease all acts of violence, to safely release those who remain hostage, and to end the seizure of the counterterrorism center. Of course, we refer you to the government of Pakistan for details on this ongoing situation, but the broader point is that the government of Pakistan is a partner when it comes to these shared challenges, including the challenge of terrorist groups inside of Afghanistan, terrorist groups along the Afghan-Pakistan border. We have partnered with our Pakistani friends to help them take on this challenge. We stand ready to assist, whether with this unfolding situation or more broadly, but this is a situation for which we'd have to refer you to Pakistani authorities.
Just last one. 2 days ago, Pakistani foreign minister has called the Indian Prime Minister Butcher of Gujrat in New York. Ironically, I had asked the same question 6 years ago to Mr. Kirby when for the first time Mr. Modi was coming to the US. I had said that, Modi was not getting a US visa now. Is he going to be allowed to come to the US? All these years down the line, don't you think the strategic partnership with India has kind of influenced in some ways the human rights things which the US stands for, minority rights, like Modi has been treating the way Muslims are being treated since last few years, former Prime Minister even, Mr. Singh had tweeted about it. Same thing with Ukraine when you look at it. They're still buying large number of oil from Russia, India. But this strategic alliance seems like it has influence, or it is at least portraying the US image as it is forcing US to compromise on some of its human rights, things that the US basically stands for.
We have a global strategic partnership with India. I've just spoken to the depth of our partnership with Pakistan. These relationships stand on their own. It is not zero sum. We see the importance, the indispensability really, of maintaining valuable partnerships with both our Indian and our Pakistani friends. Each of these relationships we don't view them in relation to the other. Each of these relationships also happens to be multifaceted. So even as we deepen our global strategic partnership with India, we also have a relationship in which we can be candid and frank with one another, where we have disagreements or concerns. We voice those just as we would with our Pakistani friends as well. Yes.
Highlight